Recently, I was browsing the WRC Reddit when I came across this post, and it triggered something in me to find out whether there is a placebo effect going on when it comes to choosing which Rally1 car people select for the events they take part in. Now, all of the Rally1 cars have the same weight, power and four-wheel drive, but certainly there has got to be a difference between them all. The common consensus that I gained from reading the relative comments and across all posts and platforms, even looking at the leaderboards across all stages and locations, would suggest to me that the Toyota GR Yaris is the best overall. But is that actually down to performance of the vehicle, or just the fact that it is the retaining WRC Constructors Champion? And does that draw people into using it more? The other thoughts and opinions I saw that the Ford Puma was a beast in the corners and the Hyundai being the fastest in a straight line. So let's put this to the test and check once and for all if there is actually a difference between the three Rally1 cars. I had to think about the best way of testing them all against one another, and I thought the fairest way was to pit them against each other in some of the most basic components that race cars are normally tested against. For example, a time performance over the course of one stage with a default setup and then a highly tuned one. So I will take each car over a stage, but the stage I have chosen is one I know very well to eliminate any uncertainty whilst driving the stage, and I will be able to go all out with every car every time. I will try to exclude any personal preferences I carry towards each car and try to be as fair as I can. So starting us off, we are going to start with the Ford Puma. Overall, I felt the car to feel very good within corners, yet very vague in its weight transfer between those corners. The acceleration wasn't the best, nor was it bad. I found that my own personal weaknesses were magnified whilst driving the Puma, which is more of a statement on my own skills than the car. Needless to say, I did have a lot of fun when driving this car. It was very stable for me. I just felt like it lacked the ability to get the weight moved quick enough, leading to that vague feeling during the start of turning in. In some areas, it became quite a challenge when facing multiple corner types one after another. We are now in Estonia to do a stage test, first with the default setup and then one with a tuned one. I will show you the tuned run, but the default setup was a 2 minute 35.8, which for now puts it first on the default setup leaderboard. I will leave you with some highlights of the tuned run and then I will come back to you with the result. I ended up doing a 2 minute 34.3 with the custom setup, making it 1.5 seconds faster, yet was 7/10 slower than my personal previous best. You may have seen in the video what I was saying about the weight transfer being quite slow, making the car feel vague and weirdly felt heavier than the other Rally1 cars. Anyway, that time puts this car in provisional first in all the categories I have set for this test. Next up, we have the Hyundai i20. Now with this car, I definitely feel like this car was the fastest out of the three Rally1 cars. It feels very compact when turning. The only thing I struggled with was consistently getting the car to break traction enough in the rear. With it being such a compact car, the overall grip on every surface type was the best. However, ultimately, with being unable to consistently get that rear turned in, and it definitely made this car feel slower than the other two. When you are successful in getting the rear to step out, the feeling was the best in this category, but overdoing it and then you just lose too much time in keeping the car in a straight line. In my testing, with the default setup, the i20 was the slowest, only coming in at a 2 minute 36.8, which I had to have a few attempts at. This time was the fastest so I could navigate the car around the stage. This made it a full second slower than the Puma, which surprised me at first as I expected much more from it. These are the highlights from the tuned run in the i20, and again after it I will tell you the time I managed. So I managed a 2 minute 36.1 with my custom setup, only making it 7/10 faster than the default, a whopping 1.8 seconds slower than the Puma. I would take about half a second off these times as I really did struggle trying to get the car to work. Again, that's a skill issue on my behalf. We are now 2 cars in and the Puma still reigns supreme in first place across both timed runs. Let's move on to the last car, and personally my favourite car within the Rally1 category, the mighty Toyota GR Yaris. This car is most certainly the best overall car out of the three. It is arguably the easiest to drive and the cornering ability is leagues ahead of the Puma and the i20. although it was noticeable that the car in its default setup didn't have the top speed of the other two. This car truly did surprise me with how much better it felt compared to the others, and that is me talking without trying to be biased. The only downside I have of the car is that you don't get the right setup for whatever stage or location you are facing, then you will struggle to get the most out of the Yaris. In the default setup times run, I managed a 2-minute 34.3, making it 1.2 seconds faster than the Puma and 2.5 seconds faster than the I20, leaving it on top of the leaderboard in the default setup category. These are the highlights of the times run, and again I will be back in a few moments. Now, shockingly to me, I beat my original personal best time doing a 2-minute 32.7. Now this could be down to being slightly more warmed up and having more practice with the Toyota, so please take that into mind with these results. In its tuned form, it was 1.5 seconds faster than the Puma and nearly 4 seconds faster than the I20. Those times make the Yaris the fastest car overall in this test. Obviously, take these tests that I have done with a pinch of salt. I do have more experience in the Toyota, but I do still have many hours in the other cars. So all of that could have affected the times I managed to do within these tests. Also, I did not test on other road surfaces, but I can if you would like me to. Let me know in the comments down below if you do. But if we were to take what I have found out, then it would stand true that the WRC community is correct in saying that the Toyota Yaris is the best Rally1 car overall. So if you are entering an event in the next few weeks, then consider using the Toyota to stand the best chance of standing in the podium places. If you've enjoyed watching this and you would like to see more content like it, then please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other uploads. Also, like the video so other people can see it, and if you need a setup to help you win more rallies, then check out this playlist here.